So this is Deuce We the People News. One more time at it. All right. We never look straight forward. We always look around us, be able to protect ourselves by any means necessary. Okay. Arm yourself with knowledge. Use that Second Amendment. Okay. This is going to be an interesting case. By the way, anything I say or do is not legal advice. Do not take it as such. Okay. It's just my opinion due to my research, not yours. Got to cover that butt, people. Somehow or another, I followed a agreement with the bar that I will not give legal advice. Don't know where this is at, but somehow or another, I did. All right, this is with Siberian Tiger. If you guys have not seen his YouTube channel, check it out. He became a cop watcher. And I'm not 100% sure, so I'll take it with a grain of salt. I think he came from another country, and I believe it was Russia, and he sees almost the same problems here in the United States that he left from. And I am led to believe that he said something about a SWAT team taken after at his house. I wonder who that reminds you of. It couldn't be Kirk. Could it? Not in Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's honest. They got honest judges. All right. Anyway, let's go. Oh, by the way, this is with an attorney, a cop, and a judge. All right. I don't see very many videos like this, so I think this was interesting on my behalf.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye. All right, we're going to go back and do the trials. Let's see what I have first here. Looks like it's Officer Nate. Oh, no, that's a trial by declaration. So we do the trials in person before we do the trials by declaration. Okay? So the trial in person is with Erica Hamilton and Officer Parley. Ms. Hamilton, if you could raise your right hand, please. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the whole truth, nothing but the truth, under the penalties of perjury? Officer Parley?
I do.
And Ms. Hamilton?
I do.
All right, so Ms. Hamilton, how these trials?
So for me, if I go to court, when they say that, I tell them I don't swear, but I'm an honest man. Okay? This gets my religion to swear.
Work. Have the officer put on her case first. She has the burden of proof. Once she does that, I'll have you ask any questions you have of her and then tell your side of the story again.
Okay, and Your Honor, I just want to note for the record, just because I've had judges get upset at me in the past, I am an attorney. My bar number is 150144, but I'm obviously here in my personal capacity.
Understood, Ms. Hamilton. Thank you for sharing that. And Ms. Parley?
All right. So how many times has she got in trouble? Just saying.
We'll have you to hear you when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. My name is Officer Parley. I'm employed by the City of Portland as a parking code enforcement officer and was so employed on May 13th, 2024. While on routine foot patrol at approximately 9:28 a.m., I observed a Nissan with the Oregon license plate.
Objection. So, can I ask a question in aid of an objection?
Of course.
Are you reading something, or are you testifying from your personal, recollection?
No, I am reading something that helps me to make sure that I put in the pertinent information, but it is a script, yes.
So I object to her reading a document. That would be hearsay.
Yeah. I'm going to have you just try and remember from your recollection, Officer Parley, what you did that day. And then if you can't remember and need to refresh your recollection, just let us know and we'll have you look at your notes.
Okay, I believe it was about 9:38 a.m. on May 13th. I issued a citation to the aforementioned license plate number of a white Nissan for parking without payment. I do know that it is in accordance with Title 16, 20.430-A, and I did have 3 pictures attached to the citation. I do not know if you need any other pertinent information. If so, I can check my notes.
So I watched this video all the way through. Not one time has anybody brought that up. And the judge, by looking at her, probably didn't know this and just kept it silent because nobody brought it up. Now, when nobody brings it up, that's silence acquiescence. UTAS agreed to her reading off the script. This attorney caught that. So there you go. Always remember that. Pay attention to what they are doing, because they are. She is a witness for the state that never appeared. All right, so the claimant never showed up, which, by the way, is violation of the Sixth Amendment. I have a right to face my accuser. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Seattle. I'm waiting for them to appear. Where's the claimant? Just saying, right?
I would like to see your pictures, so.
Coming, Judge, give me a moment.
All right.
Now you'll see what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
let me know if you can see it.
Okay. I do see a first picture, yes.
Let me make it bigger, sorry.
And so I would object to these pictures coming in until they're authenticated.
All right. So we're not having them come in yet. Can you tell us what this is, Officer Parley?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a picture of the pay to park sign, and it shows where the vehicle was in reference to the sign.
I see. Okay. And did you take this picture?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you take the pictures before you issue the citation?
I take them at the very end of. It will not allow me to issue the citation without taking pictures, but that happens at the very end of the process.
Okay. What's this next photo?
Okay, for educational purpose, does that picture to y'all look what I like to call absolute vague and ambiguous? Absolutely. It seems to me every time she takes a picture, if you actually go onto his channel and run through the whole thing, every single picture she takes, there's something shadows of where she takes this picture. Somewhere she can never get a clear picture through the whole channel. All her pictures been absolute vague and ambiguous, absolutely. And that attorney should said, objection, Your Honor, this photo right here is absolutely vague and ambiguous, and you cannot clearly see anything there or not there.
That is of the windshield. I recognize there's a glare on it, but it shows that there is no placard or any kind of permit stating that there is a reason for them not to pay.
I see. Okay.
And the third is a picture verifying the license plate number.
And those are just the 3 pictures, Officer Parley?
That is correct, Your Honor. And that is all my evidence.
Any objection, Ms. Hamilton, to the 3 photos being admitted into evidence?
So yes, I object. She never testified that they accurately reflected the scene or provided any authenticating information. And in fact, I could ask some questions to establish that the officer, in fact, doesn't remember taking those pictures at all and doesn't actually remember issuing this citation in May.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Officer Parley, do those pictures accurately represent what the scene when you issued the citation?
Yes, they do, Your Honor.
Do you have a independent recollection of actually issuing the citation that day?
Not individually, no, Your Honor, I do not. That was quite a while ago.
So how do you remember when you have all these citations in a day and do the trials months later? How do you keep notes and remember these things?
I know by looking back on the pictures are attached to the actual citation as it was written at the time it was written. So I use those to help me remind me what exactly happened at the time. I also do take notes if there is something out of the ordinary. This was a regular citation, so usually those 3 tickets do suffice in providing the evidence needed.
You mean the 3 photos you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you want to ask her any more questions, Ms. Hamilton?
See, even right there, right? That is what we call beyond reasonable doubt. The attorney stuck her in the mud, and that judge was verifying. But right there and then was enough to dismiss the case beyond reasonable doubt. That now she's just stretching things after saying, hey, she got to put the notes down and all this kind of stuff. And there's been factual evidence that she already went through the process to remember everything. And she wrote out the note and all that. So now she's remembering the note she's read, not the incident itself. It's the notes that she written that she remembers.
Yes, just one question. Did you state to me during our breakout session that you didn't remember issuing the citation?
I don't remember stating that.
Okay.
I can't. As I just stated, I don't remember issuing this actual citation. I would agree.
And you don't remember actually taking those pictures, correct?
Well, I know I took them because but I do not have an instant recollection of that. No, but they are attached to my handheld. That is my citation. So
do you remember independently observing that scene on May 13th?
Not on May 13th. No, I do not.
So you actually have no way to know whether those pictures accurately reflect what you observed on that day?
According to the way you were wording the question, I would say no, I do not.
Okay, thank you.
So did you want...
Right? Again, back into reasonable doubt. Right now, the attorney should be winning, okay, in this case, because, well, there's reasonable doubt.
restate your objection, Ms. Hamilton?
So I object to those pictures coming in. They haven't been authenticated. There's been no testimony that they accurately reflect what the officer observed, and they're just not admissible.
Okay. I am going to overrule the objection and admit the photos. I know that Officer Parley has a procedure that she follows every day when she's issuing tickets and taking pictures, and I'm comfortable admitting them and giving them the weight that they deserve based on that official business action. So sounds like she's done with her case in chief.
All right, so therefore, I don't know if she was actually just letting you know she was a bar member for the judge to be on her behalf or what. That's just up in the air. She said that she got in trouble by not saying it before. But when you're in your personal capacity, I don't understand why you should even have to bring that up. It's a non-starter. Number one, you're in your personal capacity. That's separate. So I don't know how that plays in. Okay, so, but she overruled it. And there was probable cause of this case being dismissed.
Did you have any questions for her, Ms. Hamilton, regarding anything else before I hear your side?
No, Your Honor, and I don't have any testimony to provide. I just would like to make a closing argument.
Awesome, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, or maybe you didn't say anything, I couldn't tell.
So you may go ahead with your closing.
Okay, so I just want to submit that the state did not meet it, or the city did not meet its burden of proof in this case. In order to establish a violation of 162430, the city has to establish The subsection cited was provision A, that it's unlawful for a person to park in a parking meter space during the hours of operation of the meter without paying the parking meter fee, or to permit any vehicle in their custody or control to remain in any parking meter space longer than the designated time. In this case, the city did not offer any evidence that I was a person who parked this vehicle or that this vehicle was in my custody or control. In addition, the city did not offer any evidence that the vehicle was parked in a parking meter space during hours of operation of the meter. Finally, the city did not offer any evidence that a meter fee was not paid on that vehicle. They simply offered pictures of a dashboard that does not have a parking placard on it, but there are any number of ways that a metered fee could be paid, and the majority of those are not paid via parking placards. So the city simply didn't meet its burden of proof in this case to establish a violation.
That was a good closing, right? So when it was all said and done with, and you know how I am about attorneys, right? But the attorney won, right? Again, who's this city? Who's the claimant, right? She's supposed to be a witness on the city, but no claimant down here anywhere. Okay? And this is what real law, real constitutional law, real due process is. You have a right to face your accuser. Okay? Period. But there's no accuser. It's just a witness that appeared saying, I'm a witness for the state that's not here. So the city itself never appeared in court, so that should be dismissed. All right? Just saying.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. I am going to find that Officer Parley did validly issue you a ticket to your vehicle, or to the vehicle, for not having a metered receipt. Like I stated earlier, I'm familiar with the official business conduct of these officers and what they're required to do before they issue a ticket. And so I feel like the ticket was adequately and accurately issued. Therefore, I am finding you guilty of no metered receipt on your vehicle. The fine is $65.
And just for clarification for the record, is this based on the testimony you heard today or based on your own personal knowledge?
It's based on the testimony I've heard today and also my experience doing these trials. I just give you judicial notice.
And what exactly are you taking judicial notice of today?
The protocol and the process of the officers and how they issue their tickets.
And have you taken any judicial notice of vehicle ownership or anything along those lines?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, you're free to disconnect.
Thank you.
I want to just check and see. We have two other trials by declaration. One is with Officer Navy.
I thought this was actually interesting because judge, bar, officer, and they're all competing. However, it is interesting since she cannot produce beyond reasonable doubt, and yet this judge sided on her behalf and not the attorney's behalf, which makes me led to believe she didn't do the burden proof. Number one, her picture was absolutely vague and ambiguous. Absolutely. That's for you guys to decide. It's from our point of view, right? It would be actually hard to see anything with that glare for evidence. Now, in her eyes, at the present time, she could probably see it. But cameras reflect light different than her eyes. Okay? But see how that judge did, right? I see her all the time, and I think she's a good woman, basically, good officer. So, just because I think she's a good officer, I'm going to rule on her behalf. Diesel with People News. Bye, y'all.